of my classroom. Part 18. Are you Miss Rogers?
Yes.
Explain Kyle's grades.
Hi, I've emailed and called, but Kyle hasn't come to a single class this semester.
It's because you gave too much work.
How would he know? He hasn't shown up once.
Are you judging my child?
What? No.
You have no right to judge him. How dare you try to make him come to school during a pandemic?
Oh, maybe you signed him up for all virtual. He doesn't come to the building.
I'll go to jail before I let you give my kid the COVID. If you even followed the IEP, there'd be no problem.
Ma'am, I can't follow his IEP if he doesn't come to class.
How is he supposed to do that when he's so afraid of his classmates?
What?
He logs on, there's people looking at him.
Ma'am, no one even has their cameras on. If he just logged in once.
Emojis that have his icons that are all looking at him, he's afraid. I'm not forcing him. You'll put me in a straitjacket before I force him to log on.
Okay, I don't understand. How can I help Kyle?
You're an idiot. How unqualified are you? No wonder my kid's failing. Real things said in my classroom. Part 22.
Oh, I can't stand Kyle. He's such a
Connor, chill out. Not in here.
Ms. Rogers, freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech is not absolute. There are exceptions, including when you're at school.
Yeah, whatever. This place.
Connor, seriously, I just told you to cut it out. Don't make me call your mom. Call her! I don't give a... Awesome. Hi, Miss Jones. This is Rebecca Rogers, Connor's teacher. I don't think he's feeling like himself today. I'm having some trouble getting him to stop cursing in class.
You called because Connor's cursing in class.
Yes, ma'am. Hello? Once you all get into your groups, that's... Excuse me. Miss Jones? You called because my baby was cursing? Yes, ma'am. Absolutely not. Unacceptable. Ma'am. Come here. Wait, Mama, wait. How many times have I told you not to go around in public? Embarrassing me with that rotten mouth. Disrespectful. Miss Rogers, I apologize for this one. Whenever he acts up, you call me. No problem. I will be there. I love her. Real things said in my classroom. Part 23. Excuse me, are you Kyle's teacher? Oh, yes, ma'am. You must be his mom. Yeah, are you going to explain why you're trying to convert my child? Excuse me? Did you or did you not have the kids participate in a satanic ritual yesterday? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. What religion are you anyways? Are you the Antichrist? Yeah, we're not doing this. You can leave, but you could try again. Connor said when you were teaching about your people's culture yesterday, you had them participate in sacrificial rituals. First of all, we learned about Hinduism yesterday. I'm not Hindu. Second of all, the kids were a little bit sluggish, so I said, let's do a few minutes of yoga to get our bodies moving. That just sounds demonic. It's actually really peaceful, and most of our country uses it for meditation and exercise. I don't think you should be allowed to talk about other cultures. Yeah, our world history curriculum does require world religions and cultures to be taught. If you're refusing to accommodate, I'll pick Kyle up early every day. He'll never come to this class again. That's your choice. I can't stop you. But this class is required to graduate, and every teacher in the district has the same curriculum. Time to live in the private schools. Be my guest. Real things said in my classroom. Part 30. Miss Rogers, I'm tired of dealing with your crap.
My what?
You clearly discriminate against the guys in our class, and I've had enough.
Are you gonna tell me what you're talking about?
You can't play dumb. I've seen you give the girls extra candy and treats with my own eyes.
When?
You're always letting the girls come up here and grab candy from your bottom drawer.
The bottom drawer.
You think that being all secretive means that we won't notice, but we do. I notice. You're picking favorites and you're being sexist. I've never seen you give extra candy to the guys like that. And you're not even sorry about it. You're sitting here giggling while I'm clearly upset about this.
I'm sorry for giggling. I just never knew how much the treats in the bottom drawer meant to you.
Oh my God.
Here, come up in the bottom drawer, pick whatever you want.
Finally, some respect. What?
What's wrong? Is it not everything you ever wanted?
Ew.
Go ahead, grab what you need. Wouldn't want to be discriminatory.
Story time. One year I had a student who needed pretty heavy accommodations. These accommodations included extra tutoring from me. I didn't mind. I volunteered for it. I already offered tutoring to other students during lunch, so thought, might as well. This student, we'll call him Jason, was only interested in coming to tutoring when he was the only kid there. I thought maybe he's embarrassed. Some kids don't like admitting they need extra help, even though there's nothing wrong with needing extra help. It's a valid thought process. However, after about a month into these tutoring sessions, Jason tried to reach up my skirt and grab me. And my skirt was to my knees. It's not like I was wearing anything too short. I immediately got up and started yelling. He ran out of my room and the bell rang instantly. I went to admin that day and he was immediately taken out of my class. But that's all that happened to him. The next year, I see his name on my roster for a new class. I said absolutely not. No way he sets foot in my classroom again, especially because there were no real consequences last year. The administration said the boy and the mom specifically asked they be put in my class that year. The fact that they even allowed the request after what happened shows they don't value me as a person, much less a teacher. So if you're going to be Kyle's teacher, we need to set some ground rules. ground rules? All lessons are going to need to be approved through me because I know how history teachers are in their shenanigans, and I'm going to need real-time updates on Kyle's assignments. I know courses on my website. You can just look it up if you want. And why don't you just ask Kyle about his assignments or look at the grade book? No, you're going to do it and put some effort into my kid's education. And I'm also going to need copies of the test beforehand so Kyle can study. Kyle doesn't have a 504 or an IEP. This is high school. Those accommodations are too heavy. It's not happening. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. And if you're not up for being a decent teacher, I'll just get a class change. Sorry for interrupting, but did someone say class change? What? Connor wanted Miss Rogers as a teacher so bad. His sister had her. We love Miss Rogers, but the class was full. If you're gonna be that unhappy with me teaching Kyle, maybe it is best if he's dished out. You wouldn't care if I took my child out of your class? No, and then I would get the opportunity to teach a family that really wanted to be here. It works out for everybody. No, okay. Kyle's staying in here, and there's nothing you can do about it. Connor's already assigned to you. I just love messing with the Karens who troll the good teachers. I love you.
I was on lunch duty. I will never forget. So we had an SRO officer, and I'll never forget this look on her face of just terror, but trying to cover it up. You know what I mean?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And she just came up to me and she asked, "Have you seen the principal?" And I said, "No." And I just see her beeline to the front office, which is like maybe 15 feet from me.
Sure.
And within 3 minutes, we get a intercom to the whole school saying, "This is not a drill. We're under a code red lockdown. Everyone get to a classroom immediately." I was just shoving kids into classrooms as I was going. We just shut the door, locked it down. After a good 5 or 10 minutes, we passed out textbooks. And the kids were like, "What is this for?" And I said, "It's for holding in front of your body." I said, "I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you." You know those big scissors? Grabbed 4 pairs and I put them between my knuckles and I just sat. There was a new student, kindergarten, who was immediately ridiculed by a lot of the other kids for having 2 moms. No one would sit with this kid at lunch. She would sit by herself at the playground. Like, she was just so sad, and this teacher just did not know what to do. Another little girl walks up to her in the lunchroom and is like, "Can I sit with you?" And I'll go, "Oh, yeah. And she was so excited to make a friend. And the new little girl, like, she pauses for a second, and she looks at the new girl. She said, "Do you think we might be able to have some play dates?" And "Yeah, I would love to have you over." Like, "Yeah, I'd just love to have friends." Like, she was just so excited to make a friend.
Of course.
And the little girl goes, "I heard that you have 2 moms. And I don't have one at all. She passed. So maybe I can come to your house and I can see what it's like to have moms. And you can come to my house and you can see what it's like to have a dad, because he's great."
It was a white kid was sent to live with a black foster family. And he loved this family. Like, that was his mama. And he called her mama, and he felt like he fit in, and he loved them, and they loved him. And at one time he came home from school, and he saw his mama sitting at the table with his social worker, and she just had tears in her eyes because she was working towards adoption. And the social worker looked at him and said, "Hey, I decided I'm going to move you to a different family." And he said, "Why?" "Well, I just feel like as a white kid, you really should be with a white family. And I just don't feel like you really fit in here. So don't worry, I'm doing you this favor." And the kid was just like, "Why would you do that? Like, I'm in a loving home with a woman who wants me to become her son."
Yes.
And like, what kind of messed up mentality of, "Oh, well, I found some very distant relatives that I think that you might be happier with." Why?
Real things said in my classroom. Part 14.
Oh, Miss Rogers, I'm so glad that I caught you.
Hi there. School ended about an hour ago. I'm actually heading out, but is there something that I can help you with real quick?
Yeah, so I'm Connor Jones' mother. I'm here to discuss his grades. Hi, Miss Jones. It is nice to meet you. I'm a little confused because I did have Connor last semester. We're now a few weeks into the new semester. Yeah, you failed him, and I need you to change that immediately. I did try emailing and calling you, but he only turned in blank Google Classroom documents, and I can't give him points for that.
Here you go. I brought your flash drive of all of his assignments. You can grade them.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry, but I can't accept those assignments. The semester's been over 2 weeks. Why not have new kids?
The lies you create just to fail my child.
I've been trying to contact you all semester about his grades, but I can show you on my computer.
No, you probably fabricated it all because you're xenophobic.
Wait, what?
No, we're from Canada and you just hate foreigners, so I'll be emailing your principal.
My dad is from America.